Lesson 4, mixed radicals. So when you are simplifying a radical, you are writing it in mixed form. So mixed form means you have a number on the outside that is a coefficient, and your x is the smallest number possible that can fit underneath the radical. So it's very similar to the last lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up our middle radical, or number underneath the radical, the radicand, into a product of a square and a product of not a square. So the biggest square number that goes into 40 is 4. So if you take 4 and times it by 10, you get 40. And you can break up 4 to be 2 times 2. So you have 2 times 2 times 10 is the same thing as 40. Now because we have 2 of something underneath the radical sign, we're going to bring it out, and it's going to be a 2. So you have to have 2 things underneath the radical sign to bring one thing out. Really what it's saying is the square root of 4 is 2. And what's left under the radical sign is 10. Another way you could look at this is it's the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. The square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 10 stays the same. So it doesn't matter how you think of it. This is how you simplify and put it into a mixed radical. For the next one, we have 153. No, we don't. We have 32. So 32, the highest number that goes into 32 is 16. So we can write it 16 times 2. 16 is the same as 4 times 4. We have 2 4's underneath the radical sign. And remember that the index is 2 if there's nothing there. So we bring it out and it becomes 4. And we have a 2 left under the radical sign. And again, this is the same thing as saying the root of 16 times the root of 2. And the square root of 16 is 4. And you leave the square root of 2. Now we have the root of 153. And the biggest number that goes into 153 is 9. So 153 divided by 9 is 17, so 9 times 17. 9 is the same as 3 times 3. And you can bring out 1 3, and a 17 is left on the inside. Or, you can have the root of 9 times the root of 17. The square root of 9 is 3, root 17. 108, the biggest number that goes into 108 is 36. So you take the root of 36 times 3. 36 is the same as 6 times 6. We have 2 6's, so we can bring one out. So it's 6 root 3. You can also write it as the root of 36 times the root of 3, which is 6 root 3. Writing as an entire radical means you're putting it back in the other form. So depending on what n is, you're going to take your coefficient, raise it to the power of n. I think in your notes I have a 2 there, but I think it's because we're working with square numbers. So you can change it to an n so that it works for everything, and then you're going to multiply it by x. Okay, so for the first one, our index is 2. So we are going to take 2 to the power of 2 and times it by our radicand, and it all goes underneath the radical. 2 times 2 is 4, times 7, so underneath the radical we have 28. So 2 root 7 is the same thing as the root of 28. So it's just going backwards now. Before we made the entire radical, or the mixed radical, now we're making the entire radical, so going backwards. So this one, our index is 2, so we have 3 times our coefficient to the power of the index, so 2. 5 to the power of 2. 3 times 25 is 75. So the root of 75 is the same as 5 root 3. Our index is 2, so we're going to take 2 times the radicand, or the coefficient, to the power of the index. So 9 to the power of 2, and 2 times 81 is 162. And our last example, our index is 2, so we have 5 times the coefficient, which is 7, to the power of the index, which is 2. So 5 times 49, so 245.